Neads.
Back again.
Yo, I got Johnny over here. JFK.
How we doing?
We're doing good. You're here. Who I got here? I got Warner made it.
Oh,
Warner
man.
made it.
The animal expert.
What do they call you?
The instigator.
The instigator.
Yeah, fucking A. He's got a black pot at home and just stirs it. I got
anybody that caught last week's episode, we are rebounding from that one.
I got Mang over here. We're back.
I changed my mic this week.
Yeah, you did. You got a new mic.
Different.
Oh, nice. That's a good style. I might try something.
So,
like
John, last week when we got out of here, you were fucking hot on the trail or something. So what's going on now?
I was trying to reel it in and get us the fuck out of here last week.
No,
you
so
guys didn't want to get the hell out of here.
You went and saw Twiddle. Let's go right off.
All right, let's you two. You notice how we got them apart again?
We start you on common ground, and then we're going to slowly back you away.
He's on the top rope. Remember that. All right. So
Twiddle.
So tell us about Finger Twiddle. Twids. How was Mahali?
More importantly, there was two openers. We didn't get there in time to see the first opener.
Oh no.
However, we saw the second opener was a band called Wild Adriatic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen them at all.
I have
They're
not.
on EQX.
He saw them on EQX.
They're really good. So they did their thing for a while. Their encore, they did
a cover.
They did a cover.
Oh. What was it?
Which cover?
Which cover? You don't even remember the band now?
No, I do. I'm thinking about what I want to say to you.
Well, what I would like you to tell me is
what the song was that they covered in the encore,
and then we'll go on from there.
All right, so they covered
2 ears, 1 mouth.
They covered Carini.
Shut the fuck up.
Really?
Right. Wild Adriatic covered Carini?
Yeah, so
now this is a Fish song you're talking about.
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
You're not talking about Twiddle though.
No.
So
the opener.
And and their twist on it. And you know, so Carini has a lovely head.
Oh no,
yes.
Lumpy head.
Lumpy head.
Lumpy head.
Maybe she had a lovely head, but when they got done, it was lumpy.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Furthermore, so instead of when I got to that part, instead of Carini, they said Mahali, and you know, put their little twist on it. Their little twistle.
Mahali had a lumpy head.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop. Was that the guy that did the
That's
fucking
the
thing?
lead singer
That's the lead singer of Twiddle.
Mahali is.
Mahali.
I thought it was the guy that faked those hate crimes.
No,
Later,
that was
guys.
fucking Jesse Smoll.
Yo, see you later,
Jesus.
Ryan and Gino.
They don't rhyme.
Good show tonight, guys.
Later, man.
Man.
See you, fellas.
It was the same episode. Like it was.
Tune
you guys
in,
were
catch
talking
the
about.
rest
I
of
didn't
the
know about it
episode.
then either. I thought that's what you were tying in because I was like, "Who's Malik? What's his name?
No,
Mahali?
Moving right along.
I might not be saying it right. The Twiddle guy. All right.
He's the lead singer of Twiddle, Mahali.
All right.
Now, I don't know a lot about either of these bands. I just went, have a good time.
Do you know
or
what they
whatever.
sing? Like, did you know what their hit song was?
Yeah, you're wrong guy.
Yo, say it one more time, the name of that band.
Wild Adriatic.
They had a hit song.
They have to. They're on EQX is like Manchester, Vermont, and they have.
They're
it's a
real
great
good.
station. Great station, man. And they're on it, and I can't remember.
Real good, real entertaining.
The only thing I listen to on the radio
wailed.
is fucking NPR or the fucking classical opera station.
Dude, I listen to NPR all the time.
Me too.
Because I can't handle radio
Schmee
stations.
Schling,
Yeah.
right? And I can't say it.
Schmack me Lin.
Yeah.
I'm Latch Me Sing.
Yes.
You gotta tune in to the Big Cat.
No.
I can't do it, man.
I don't get the big
That
cat.
shit's all biased too, you know.
What, NPR?
Big
NPR's
Cat.
public though. They can't be. They won't take corporate sponsors.
Big Cat don't
So
take no
it's-
crap.
They're
You know.
like your buddy there. They take money from the poor.
It's all about access.
Oh.
The game
Access
of,
Hollywood.
It's all
It's
about
about access. Like
Big Cat Country.
you don't get the interviews if you're not nice and ask nice questions.
Well, they
And if you are gonna, throw some hard ones, then they're more staged.
right.
What a downer, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
man.
were just fucking up and
Jeez, man,
flying.
that was-
Plane was going.
Truth hurts, bro.
Yeah, we just crashed.
It's so true, man. If you don't ask, if you're not gonna, someone's not gonna sit down to an interview. If you're not gonna make them look better, or at least,
Well, they did that, but
You know?
but then you get those guys that do for 20 minutes and then they fucking hammer you for 5, and the fucking person flips out and leaves and shit like that. That's why
I like
those
watching that.
those are gold. Those ones that they have that fucking.
so I see what you're saying. So if it's like a reporter that's known to debunk shit, and so if you agree to sit down with him, it's a big deal because like this guy isn't fucking around. Like I better come correct, or he's gonna catch me in a fucking. You know, I don't know much about reporters anymore.
Me neither.
What do you think?
So wait,
No, I'm
Mahali had a lumpy head.
Yep.
2 openers, Wild Adriatic, and then the Twiddle show.
Yeah. Twiddle came on after Wild Adriatic.
And how were they?
They were good.
Good.
They were good. It was a good time.
What was it like? What would you compare it to?
Getting blown by a porcupine. Anyways,
Late. Man.
shit.
He opened up
You
like a
didn't wait.
world of questioning.
Yeah.
You're the only one that did anything. I can tell you, like about I don't know how many milligrams of acetaminophen are in like children's Tylenol. I mastered that this week, but
You did?
You know, yeah, you know,
Huh.
no big deal.
We went to the Warehouse Barbecue in Albany.
Yeah.
I painted that mural.
In Warehouse.
Yeah, did you
Looked
see
like
it
it, didn't
at the end, all the way behind the bar?
When you first walk in.
When you first walk in, the bar's lengthwise,
Wait a second. Hold on.
and it's a brick wall.
He
I'll
didn't
be
see
honest
it.
with you.
Yeah, he was fucked
I
up.
probably saw it, but I don't know much. Like they like weed you around in there to where you got to go.
Do you think it's
like,
still there?
like
Oh, yeah.
where we were? There was all pallets hanging on the wall.
Yeah, they covered it.
Okay, so you went to the dining room.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they had my buddy did the pipe work, so it's all the steel pipe that would be for gas lines. That's how they run all the electricity, right? So it's like everything. The bar, it's like everywhere. And
conduit.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, but it's the same thing that would be that would pipe the gas to your natural gas to your water heater.
Yeah, they did it like that to like
You know what I'm saying?
More
Like with
Just for the
industrial.
look.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
yeah.
make it look like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
they made chandeliers, this crazy chandeliers, and I think
With
they did a
water
sculpture
pipe?
with it somewhere. I think it's
like-
gas pipe.
It's an iron pipe,
Yeah.
just like threaded iron. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like T's, 90s, and then just the section. It's like
Yeah,
probably
black iron threaded
I
pipe.
got you.
Yep. So he was doing that for them, and these guys that did the warehouse, or warehouse barbecue. They bought that whole building, and then went top dollar on everything. And when I went in, they were almost done, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" For a startup restaurant, that much. I mean, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
kitchen is the same size as like the dining room and the bar.
Jesus.
Like, it's an L, the bar, and then the dining room, and then that whole thing.
It was full. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Was
of
that
course,
that place
but
that's
it was
right-
Valentine's Day also, so I mean,
I've been there. It's right there, right? Not too far.
Yeah, it's
away.
right there. You know exactly where it is.
No, it's right by the palace.
No, it's
No?
on Wolf Road.
Oh,
It's across the street from a sushi place, so you probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would never be pulled. It's just magnetism. You'd be like barbecue, sushi.
Yeah.
now
I've
a bunch
had-
of us
I've
went
had
up to one of
Sushi
them.
wins
Does it have another
all
level in
day.
it?
I've had fish 25 days in a row.
It don't have another one. Then I'm
No.
thinking like
Let's
a
make it
firehouse or some
26.
shit they got up there. What happened?
That is crazy. That is one of the. That's what it is where we live, where we love it so much because
What?
if I have same thing, anytime I go out of town and I'm like, what?
Oh,
am
I had
gonna eat?
sushi today.
It's either that. And the only time
I did.
Thai food will top that, but I'm like waiting. Like sometimes, like
I
if
had
I've had it-
Vietnamese.
if I'm like, oh, I
Josh
just
said
had
Tuesday.
sushi yesterday, then I'd be like, I'm gonna hit Thai.
Oh, I had
What's
this.
Thai? What are the noodles made of? Are they clear noodles? Like, is it that
If
transparent rice
they're
noodles?
clear as rice, right?
Yeah,
well,
they're rice.
they have those glass
But
noodles.
man, I
Yeah.
get a dish. My favorite dish, and this is running.
this is Thai food.
This is Thai food running for over 10 years. This has been my favorite dish, and every time I love it just as much.
Tell me. All right, tell me.
It's Panang. That's why I always remembered it because it's got my name in there. Panang chicken.
Pad Thai.
Panang chicken. That place in Oneonta, Simply Thai, is
Oh, you like
some
that?
of the best.
I ate there. I had to leave. Ooh,
dude. Some of the best Thai.
I must have
food.
ordered the wrong thing.
Best Thai food ever.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And of the different places, California,
So
that I've had Thai.
speaking of California,
I like pad Thai.
I think Simply Thai is the best.
Really?
we got into Sacramento. Josh and I traveling together. We hit the West Coast, coming down from where those people
Donner's.
where they ate the
Donner's
ate the
party.
Yep.
The pass. We went through there.
So we went down.
He's
and-
got
and-
me taking photos of fucking him and his his pictures.
That was a brutal winter.
That winter, yeah,
Dude,
Because
when we got up
when
there
we got
in
there was
fucking
14
June-
feet of fucking snow.
Yeah. Up in
It was
that hill
over
there.
the top of the fucking
Truckee. Going through Truckee.
So there you go.
Right? Truckee. When we come up
Yeah,
through Truckee.
exactly. Imagine when nothing was there and it was the middle of winter.
They had horses and
Dude,
wagons.
they,
This is the
no,
summer
and
when we went
listen,
through, and
and
had
when they went
14
through
feet
it,
of snow.
they fucking would get up there and pull their wagons up over the next fucking cliff or fucking thing or whatever. It's some wild shit out there. Get going.
Well, so we get into Sacramento.
You mean
We're skipping so much awesome shit, but we went to a sushi place and we sat down, and there was like a stripper and her girlfriend.
Yes, for sure.
Next to us, and then there
But
was
they were
an
clothed.
old. There was an old
How'd you know
Asian
they-
woman, right?
Yes.
And then the guy, we got the worst sushi.
She was with her
chef.
daughter too.
Yeah,
And we
it's like
we
someone's
s-
birthday.
And we started he'd been talking to me for fucking ever, and I haven't really got to say much. So no, seriously,
4 days.
4 days.
Imagine that.
He'd been talking to me and told me all kinds. I knew I was up to date on everything.
So you were ready to talk to some strippers.
No. To Grandma. Grandma's over here. And
Yeah, he was her
she,
best
Good
friend.
choice.
Yeah, that's how.
Well,
yeah.
she said something or something happened, and I hit her with a fucking funny, and she laughed, whatever. So then we were kind of.
Someone fucked up her order, and she
Yes.
called out the waiter, and then Josh is like, "Oh, not only would I do that, but I would do this too." And they were like, they bonded over.
Yeah, we got
They don't
bonded
take
quick.
no-
So then they were like,
"Yeah, Mama, don't take no mess."
And
That's
then
how
he-
Josh does it.
and then,
Yeah.
and then Ryan got good graces with her, so it was like then they liked us.
Yeah. So our sushi chef comes out, and you guys have you guys had hibachi?
Yeah.
No, I keep saying sushi. I mean hibachi.
He was out there.
He didn't do anything.
This
He didn't do the
fucking guy.
He didn't do the onion volcano.
He didn't do
He didn't
dick.
spin his
He
fucking
didn't spray
knife.
nothing
dude.
at us. Didn't throw any shrimp in our
Nope.
mouths.
And I was
I
nervous.
would have broke my plate at the end.
I kind of
I would have
liked
stood
it.
up and I would have broke my plate.
We liked it because we just wanted to eat.
I just wanted to eat, and I
Get
always
the
get
fuck
embarrassed.
out
Like,
of
no
there.
thanks. I don't need sake sprayed in my face or whatever. But I mean,
But
seriously,
you want
he was
the
like this.
option at least.
The dude is like this. He was like,
Slow guy.
"Yep." He's
You know
like,
what
chicken,
pisses me
shrimp.
off is when they flip fucking pieces of zucchini
Yeah.
at you when
Oh,
you know,
cheap
you
bastards.
you cheap
Cheap
motherfuckers.
motherfucker.
So the stripper,
Cough up a shrimp.
Yeah, give me a-
yeah. Flip
Give
the
me a
shrimp,
goddamn
man.
prawn over here.
the
Yeah.
stripper and
What
her
the
friend
fuck?
were mad that no show happened.
Oh yeah, she's like, because it was probably one of them's first time or something. She's like, I was supposed to take you to. And she's like, no, it's cool. It's like, no, I brought you to see a good time, and this month, they were serious.
Yeah.
So and then I got pissed
This
because
fucking
Special
shit.
show.
I get like shrimp or something, whatever I
Ooh.
fucking got.
This is great.
Whatever I got, and I don't like mayonnaise, right? I'm not a.
And
I
I
don't like.
knew it.
I don't
And
like mayonnaise based anything.
I
right?
said to him, I go, yo.
and I especially don't like warm mayonnaise, right?
Well,
I just don't do it.
I mean, I think there's some code
Yeah.
Well,
type.
It should be, man. Like I don't do it in like Thousand Island dressing, like whatever. But I'm not into that. And yeah, so
on his chicken.
and I'm just
So you
waiting.
don't
This is the
swallow.
first non-gas station Indian reservation food that we've had, like coming up through Wyoming and all that.
You had. I didn't. I didn't eat any of that shit.
Yeah. And so he's like, hey, you want your chicken and shrimp? You want it spicy? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And I'm thinking, and he
So
pulls
he's
out
spicy
this,
mayo.
He pulls out this pink orange.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just mayonnaise, and he's like,
Spicy
Like a
mayo.
Warner.
and on the grill, and it starts turning kind of yellow, and
He's
and I was
getting
like,
it, Warner.
oh
And
man!
you're
And
watching
he
it.
starts fucking laughing and looking at me because in my 4 days of talking, where I only stopped when I was sleeping. I'm sure I told him that I didn't like it, and I have plenty of examples. But I didn't like it so much. I fucking rinsed the shit
Yeah.
off.
I go,
his
Warner.
soup.
I go, Warner. Just put it in my soup and eat it. Fucking just put the chicken in there, dunk it in there, and eat it. It'll. So he's in here.
I
this
almost
thing,
gagged. It was disgusting.
Dunking his chicken in my soup that I was. Yes. Yeah.
It was rough. But I had to eat it. It was a rough night.
It was
man.
time to eat it.
Yeah, and Josh wanted to strangle the dude because what did he do? Crack an egg into the fucking.
Oh.
He just
This
he put 2
motherfucker.
eggs in shrimp fried rice, but he waited till like he started cooking the rice and he like cracked the eggs into the rice.
Dude, this guy was not a good hibachi
You're supposed
chef.
to cook the eggs separate. You're
Yeah.
supposed to
Egg
fucking
is
flip
first,
the egg
bro.
first,
Yeah.
man.
Egg is first.
Yes.
You're supposed to flip the egg and fuck around, have it land in
And
your
then you
hat.
crack it on the thing.
So
Yeah,
I
then you
got-
landed on the thing.
So I got.
He
a
didn't
little-
do any of that shit.
Yeah.
He's like into the rice.
Yup.
And Josh like no,
No.
I'm not eating
No,
it. So he
fuck
didn't
that.
fucking eat it. He almost said it to the fucking guy.
You're
Oh,
like,
I'm not
you want me
eating
to do this? Come on.
Yeah, the guy's like, "Oh, I'll get your plate," and Josh's like, "You can put that wherever you want, bro. I'm not eating it."
Fuck that. He fucked it all up.
Shit!
Come on, that sucks, man. Like,
And
you
then
just ruined-
the older lady loved it. They fucked up something for her. And then
they
I'm
forgot
like,
to bring her drink.
Yeah.
forever.
forever.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And then I
sounds
kept
like the
joking with her.
worst
I'm like,
hibachi experience
I
ever
kept joking with her.
experienced.
You don't have to tip him. You don't have to tip the guy.
Yeah, that's what she's like.
Damn right.
Yeah, she's like, is the chef gonna get part of this tip? I'm like,
No,
nah.
this isn't a chef.
It reflects. Yeah, it reflects the service.
Yeah, I think I said that to I think
This
they just
guy-
pulled out the guy from the back room.
This guy's just training.
Yeah, it was the day shift too. It wasn't night. It was fucking 5 in the summer, so it was like fucking noon in California. If it's 5
Yeah.
o'clock in California,
Yeah.
they're eating lunch.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I just wanted to. I was more worried about trying to catch Hobo Johnson while we were in Sacramento.
Yeah. See what he was up to.
Holy shit, man. Yeah, but that goes to show that without that fucking shitty fucking hibachi chef, like we were best friends. All of us were best friends when we left. Like we, like okay, goodbye. It's like have fun on your trip and good luck. And
Yeah, they
good
got
luck
everything.
with the t-shirts. I'm like, yeah, hey,
Yeah,
good
they
luck with
got
that.
everything
Good
out
luck
of
with
us.
that move you're working on. Hope your tattoo heals. It's like.
Yeah.
And then Josh is basically like arranging to marry this old lady's daughter. Before we left. So, but without that, if you can't bond over someone you hate, like collectively,
Like a shitty hibachi chef.
yeah, we wouldn't have bonded. We would if we had a good meal that he would have done the show. We'd be like, yeah, all right, whatever, and then we eaten. But that could like everywhere I've been in life, there's been that person that you like. Everyone hates at the same time, but you kind of keep them around. Like I don't know, it's like the person you don't fire at work, but he deserves to be fired like all the time. But it's someone so
wow,
you're like,
yeah.
God damn it, Donnie, every fucking time. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just like, what is it with you?
I'll tell you what.
You
got to look out for those guys.
But the second you fire them and remove them, like if it's a waitress, like when I was in Virginia Beach, it was a waitress and she was the head waitress. Everyone hated her. And then we worked together and got her fired. And then we were all at each other's fucking necks. Like, you don't come in soon enough. You don't need it. It's like, man, we used to be fucking friends, man.
The Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, but once that person's gone, you got to pick a fucking new one.
Fuck, got rid of Saddam.
Yeah.
Now what the fuck are we gonna do?
Keep them around,
So,
man.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna blame
that is so true though. It's like
Saddam.
or somebody else needs to take their place right after that. Like someone else.
Yeah, you hire the next
terrible.
terrible person.
Right.
Come on
That's
in.
why it's important to have fucking people in training that you're supposed to fucking pick on, but then it's like, hey, you're new. You buy him a beer, but you're supposed to treat him like shit, like hazing. But once people work whatever for a while, it's like, oh, you can't haze them after, shit, in the restaurant industry.
Well, there was
a
that-
month.
Yeah.
You're a pro.
Remember I was telling you that one, the where was it? Where I was watching one of those prank videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the prank, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this prank video, and I really didn't. I thought it was a horrible prank. It was totally lame. So you guys tell me what you think. I guess I kind of fucking told you my bias on it, but dude goes into Walmart with he's got he's dressed up, he's got a suit. He just goes down the aisle, and some dude's stocking the shelf, doing his Walmart job, and the guy's like, excuse me, how come you didn't ask to help me? And the guy's polite. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was stocking the shelves. And then he's like, well, I'm the district manager, and I'm here to check up on people, and you're not cutting it, man. You're gonna have to go. And the dude's like, really? You know? And he's like, man, I was going to ask you. He goes, I was just stocking the shelves, you know? And he's like, well, you're not doing it fast enough. And the dude just goes on for like another 5 minutes. And he's like, you're going to need to take off your vest. You know, you got to go right now. And the dude's like pushing him, like basically getting him to that point where he's like, finally the dude's like, yo, man, don't be pushing at me. Fine, I'll leave. This is bullshit, you know, and he's like losing it. And then the dude's like, oh, just kidding. I don't even work here, you know.
I'd punch him in the face.
And then he's like, here's 500. And then he like hands him like 500 bucks.
There you go.
Here you go, buddy.
Well, that part was cool.
I wouldn't be able to. I don't like watching shit like that. Like, it makes you uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just flip it.
I think it's a bad prank. Like, the other side would be, like, humiliate yourself as far as if you want to, like, be the guy that, like, oh, my butt, I pooped my pants, and see how the guy reacts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you're like, I was just kidding. Here's $500.
Right.
Like, way cooler than, like, humiliating a dude.
Or have him watch you get fired. Or,
right.
You know what I
or
mean?
something
and he could,
like that.
Step in
or
or say something.
or, you know, see if he'll step in to, like, do the right thing.
Or fucking with someone's livelihood. That,
like, in a way where you don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know,
what I mean?
At
that
Walmart.
guy
Yeah, that
was
motherfucker
going
might.
through.
You're lucky that motherfucker will snap your neck.
Right, that's what
No
I'm saying.
shit,
Like,
man.
Hit you with
so
a broom.
that part's the thing where you're catching like these raw emotions of a person.
Right.
But I just thought it was completely not cool, as opposed to like the best ones ever you see are the dudes where they're at like the beach and they go up to fucking wash their hair.
Oh,
and there's-
Jesus
and
with the
it's
shampoo.
tuck
Yeah,
over
yeah.
with the shampoo.
Yeah.
Like that gets to a point where it's like
Those two
fucking-
girls. You know the video,
yeah, dude,
right?
and
Those
that-
two
and
girls in the
Hulk-
beginning. With
and
the
that
one with
Hulk dude.
I can't even think about them. I just watched
that
those
is
two girls
painful.
walk up. It's unreal.
That's painful, but
Showers at the beach.
Yeah,
I did
that's
that.
pretty fucking funny. See, that's the same thing. What you're talking about right there, people do that to us online. That's why I don't think those guys in California were anything. They wear they get the little earwigs
yeah.
and then they just walk up. It's like, yeah, well, I'm with the fucking because you know what I mean? Like that guy's not gonna be like, you're not who you say you are. Fuck you.
yo, you know what?
Because you say that to the wrong guy.
You got to pull a reverse prank. Like you guys should make some cards.
Yeah, like this
special,
official.
Like order them. Like you can get
I like
IDs.
that.
Like you can get like badges we get for work. You just order those.
Right.
So it's like you can put your you can make whatever up and get it on there with a picture.
I've got
and
it.
fucking laminate
Yeah.
that shit.
So I wanted to do this.
And,
So this goes along the line.
And
Keep going.
no,
This
play
fucking
it right
guy-
back. It's not even fraud because you'd just be identifying your
Right.
company and you'd be putting this. So all of a sudden, but you basically come back at them harder than they come at you just to see what happens.
Yeah.
That's like the
Until the cops show up.
That's like the
All
two.
right. You-
Don't falsify.
all of a sudden, you just whip that ID out that says that you're
And you're
the
like-
acting president of the National Association of the Vendors of
Yeah.
whatever.
Northeast
No, just say
vendor,
we got a
Northeast,
license.
yeah.
To have this, right?
And
Yeah,
you,
so-
and
yeah.
even and then verbally, you could even be like, you know, ask, you know, you,
We'll have a little shtick.
dude.
We say
The
to
other
them.
thing, because if you look at any of that kind of work, it's the same as construction work, and the rules of vending are per county and municipality.
right?
So honestly, just because someone has like they're part of the tour that like shut something down or this or that,
Because it
or-
wasn't Live Nation. Live Nation doesn't say shit to you. You know what I mean? They-
So it's like some municipalities and states and cities are same type of right to work
I
kind
like
of thing.
that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have, because you can do it two ways now. You can reference it. Like I wanted to have something up. You know what I mean? Like a little thing. And, you know, just be like, oh, whatever. You know, we're part of this and that. But like with what you're talking about, you could even question them. Be like, wait a minute. Be like, why are you what's it called when someone has permission to do it? Like when you ask me if they're supposed to be there, basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
and then
like
you could
who-
treat them, be like, wait a minute, I need to, you know,
Well,
I need your ID. I've got to call you if
Because
you're
actually,
questioning me.
the most similar situation to that would be like union situation, and that's like if whether you're a painter or anybody, you're on a site in New York, and you have a possibility of someone coming up to you that's from a union and demanding to see your union card,
Right.
which is the same kind of thing, but in that same, there's the rules of it where you know if someone's walking up to you and asking you for your union card without showing you their union card,
Right. That's
then
what I mean. It's like, are you supposed to be
not
asking
doing
for
it
that? Yeah,
the right way.
Yeah, wait. It's like, are you
you know.
imposing union shit right now? It's like,
Right.
you didn't like you're violating whatever. It's like I need to see your fucking. I'm calling
Where
it in.
your credentials.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm calling
Let me
it
see
in.
your card.
Yeah. No, in fact,
Here's mine.
It's
Where's
just
your
like,
card?
Just like any type of police or anything, they need to show theirs first. So it's like, let me see that. Let me get back to my people. That's the other thing is maybe you don't even want to play that you're the owner of anything. You're just
Right.
a dude that works for a guy, and then you can be like, oh,
Let me call him.
No,
the
that's
dude.
yeah.
The dude said, you
yeah,
know,
the dude.
that's like your last resort. I
Right.
would say. I don't know, man.
No,
You
that's
guys need a
something.
lawyer? You guys need a lawyer on there? I'll just
lot lawyer.
Exactly.
That would be
lot
great.
lawyer.
If you just rolled out in a nice suit.
Wait! I got my lot lawyer over here.
Didn't.
Get Johnny to memorize some fucking lines.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Yeah.
He's
like-
full of shit. We'll bring him on. Come on, John.
Yeah, be Article 4,
sounds
subsection
like a-
9.
On this
be a-
episode of Lot Law.
Yeah.
You lot law.
Dude, we can
Dun-dun,
do.
dun-dun.
We should do lot
Dun-dun,
lawyer
dun-dun.
commercials and shit.
Right. We
That'd be
can.
good.
Yes. Lot.
Yeah, because the only
And
thing
then
I
you
did
get-
is I just know the rights as like a New York City vendor to where like what you're allowed to vend and who you're allowed to be in order to vend certain things, you know. And that's all I told the California guy. But it'd be nice to have someone that was like versed in the local law. And then, you know, and then they might be like, huh, you might have, you know. It's like your rules don't apply here, bro.
Yeah. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Holy shit. Man, there was something about
They came back and apologized to me though.
Yeah.
Not to Warner though, because Warner was an asshole to him.
I didn't take anything down.
I just flipped my shirt over.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get it taken. It was a fucking second
What a great fucking time.
night or
man.
the first night, maybe second.
Well, that's the other part is that beyond a prank is there's actual thieves too.
Right.
That could actually just walk up and see how intimidated you are and base that on saying, you know what? Let's go back to that dude and say, we're taking your fucking shit right
yeah, that's
now.
a different story.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And those type of things happen also.
Right.
Right.
They could
Yeah.
happen.
And then who you going to call?
We're going.
Your lot lawyer.
I got Johnny on the way.
And they are more than just lawyers.
You guys ever
Yep.
heard the
They are also
Pop Brothers at Law?
defenders.
It's my money.
No, I haven't.
And I want it now.
They're really good. It's two brothers and
1-800.
Pop Brothers,
Lot Law.
and they have the script. Stick to the script, and it's are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Right.
I'm not going to discuss my day or night with you. And
Seen plenty of those videos.
there's one more, but
They
there's
don't
just three
always end
things.
well.
Yeah.
Right? No, exactly.
They-
No, this is if you are guilty.
They never end
No,
well.
no. Sometimes they do. It's at you'd be surprised, but 99%
This
of
is
those
if
are
you.
like
This is if you
the
are
guy
guilty.
that's like, I'm a lawyer and I'm telling you, or whatever. I don't know.
This is if you're crossing state lines with marijuana from a legal state to a non-legal state, and you get pulled over.
I can tell you a story.
Oh, okay.
You don't fucking. You don't. Your chances are, it's statistical. Your chances are that you're going to get searched. If you're like, oh well, I just came from. Oh, where'd you go? This and that. You do this. You do that. And you answer their questions. Your chances are less likely that you're going to get away.
Oh, you're creating their case for them.
Right. Otherwise, you just stick to the script. It's like, oh, where you coming from? It's like, I'm not at liberty to discuss my day or night with you. It's like, and then they ask, the regular questions.
Well, why you got to be so defensive?
Yeah, and you apologize, and you be really respectful, but you're like, I'm sorry.
Now let's
but
skip
if you're not
forward.
detaining me.
What are you sorry about?
Let's
Yeah.
skip forward though to after.
I'm a little curious. Maybe you need to step out of the car, sir.
Let's
Yeah,
skip
and then the
forward.
rest is shut the fuck up.
Yes, but let's skip
that's
forward
their-
to when
that's their
you
hats.
say all that.
But you already
Shut the fuck
said
up.
too much.
No, let's skip forward to when you say that. No, nothing. And then next thing you know, you're cuffed
Right.
and in the car,
Right.
headed to the station, right?
And you're
Yeah.
going.
And then they're asking more, right? They want
Hey, bus driver.
they want to know more, and you haven't even told them anything yet, right?
Right.
And then they leave you sitting, and then they won't let you make your first phone call for 7-8 hours, 9 hours.
I think it's eight. Eight's the limit that
All
they
right.
can hold you before they got to let you
Before they let
do
you.
something.
Patriot
But
Act.
They did,
But
they've
when
done that
they're-
to me here.
so
in
when
town.
they
They
start-
picked me up in the morning. And
so
just
when they
didn't
start-
have anything on me, just made me sit there for 8 hours.
So when they start transporting you, though, then they have a thing where they can say, "Well, he was getting transported, so he couldn't use the phone at that particular time." his 8 hours. So then it got pushed to 9 or 10.
Jesus.
But they can just fuck. They literally will just fuck with you if you won't tell them what they want to hear. But they don't always get what they want, obviously. But they can fuck with you.
Oh, absolutely. And
To
they
the fucking
because they don't.
But you do get your phone call. You do get your phone call.
I just got let out.
Oh.
Well, these
All
the Pop Brothers of law, they stick to that, and it's basically, they don't tell you that you need to be guilty to do it, but if you're not really if you have like whatever on you, don't. But it's like if you it's your only chance, because everyone gets themselves into trouble by talking to cops.
They're called they're sovereign people, so they're following the same rules as they're saying I'm a sovereign state, and like these people that have these
Right.
these letters, like they'll just hold up a letter to the window, crack it open this much, and hold up this thing.
Yeah,
and the
I
cop
don't have
will
to
come
show
up.
you my ID. I don't
So
have to do
there's
this, I don't have to do
those,
that.
and then there's also the ones that are near close enough to borders where they get constant checkpoints.
Right.
And those ones, they actually don't have the authority to stop you. And there's a certain, like, the only reason why anybody stops is because of the way they, like, it's like a, yeah, they don't have any authority to ask for your, like, ID or anything.
What
like
you're talking about? Like if you're rolling down,
like border patrol. So, like, yeah, we run into them when we'll go to, saying in the Northeast, but if you go up to, like,
by Vermont.
yeah,
And Maine.
Champlain,
Yeah.
As far north of New York as you can get, you might all of a sudden be like, whoa, you're on, a main interstate and the whole highway gets shut down.
You get
and you're
that
getting a
rolling
checkpoint.
down.
But now there's people that are from places that do this more often, and they're literally like on their commute to work daily.
Right.
They have to go through these checkpoints.
Right.
And so they're at the point where they're just like, I'm done, like, with this whole game of what are you doing, where are you going, and they just roll up and they're like, are you detaining me? What are you doing? Are you detaining me? And they're like, I'm just asking you some questions. Are you detaining me? No, you're free to go. Okay. It's like, let me see your ID.
But when they say yes,
like,
we
no.
are.
No, they just they stick to that, like, do you have the authority to ask me for my ID?
Well, that's kind of like
I'm
rolling
I'm an American citizen, so I don't have to prove to
When you
my
roll
ID.
into, like, Cali and
Basically,
shit.
that's the rule.
They
so it's
ask
like,
you if you're transporting fucking like veggies and shit like that or plants when you're rolling into Kelly.
oh,
when you
right.
come
Oh,
in.
yeah. Jesus
They ask
Christ.
you-
Remember the first one we went into? I didn't know about it. He had it planned. I was like, oh, Jesus. We had like,
And you're like peeling an orange going,
I'm not telling you what we had.
oh, my God. We had
Yeah.
oranges, and
Yeah,
we had
oranges and
apples.
Dude, we had all kinds of. He had fucking.
I had trees.
He had trees from.
I had
fucking
redwood
Oregon.
trees and
Yeah,
shit.
we had all kinds.
I would have had to leave them at the border.
This
I'm
is
like-
my favorite
That's
bonsai.
a nice
I brought a-
lady. You
I
got
brought a
anything?
sequoia.
Fuck no.
You know that? So those made it.
So, yeah, sovereign
And then one
citizens.
One died.
Yeah.
Did you plant
Sovereign
one of them?
citizens. That's
Not
that
outside.
line.
Inside. You guys will. Have
But you
that
see
part.
some that go good, and then there's other ones that
Yeah,
don't
you
go
watch
so
them
good.
because these.
There's other ones where they have this one. Okay, sovereign
They
citizens.
try to bait them fuckers.
Well, here's
though,
the
some
other
of
thing.
them.
There's
Some of
this
them.
other thing that you're not actually like in. Some people are able to just to say it better, and they get through better to the cops, and other people, the cops like, no way, dude. But they're like, if you're sitting in a parking lot and you're in the driver's seat of your car, you're not driving a vehicle.
Right.
So, like, the rules change. And then,
Not much.
yeah, and then the other one is being a driver and, what is it? It's something about where you're a traveler if you're not charging fare for people being in your car. So you're no longer like a driver, you're a traveler. And that's what these people are trying to say. And they're like, I'm not a driver, I'm a traveler. And they're like, what do you mean you're driving this car? Like, and then you're like, oh, what's this all about? And then they're like, the guy's like, the cop goes, you don't have any plates on your car. And the dude's like, I don't need to have plates on my car.
I'm a traveler.
not charging anybody fare, so I'm just traveling or something like that. And it's interesting. I don't know. where it all goes, and then then the guy's like, all right, I'm gonna go back to my car and we're gonna make some calls, and then you hear the guy, he's like, see, I'm telling this cop the way it is, and it's like,
yeah, I know where it goes. It
Next
goes
thing you know,
directly to jail.
it goes, the window gets broken 9 times out of 10. The window ends up.
They'll have the firemen
and they drag
come and
the
do
dude
it.
out, and you're like, you never. Here's the thing, though.
Some dude from Carolina who just got done working.
You can witness these like crazy shit, and you don't get any like what happened.
Right.
You get what happened, and it's kind of like they cancel a series when they like just made it awesome at the end of season 1, and then there's like, nope, there isn't going to be a series 2.
Yeah.
And you're
Ratings
like,
were
fuck.
low.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen enough videos
so
where
you
it goes
can't
down.
say like in some cases, yeah, like I said, they get them,
where they pull them out of the car.
they pull them out of the car, but no, other ones where they actually do
shoot 'em.
like if they don't have
Jesus.
license plate and they don't have
You're
things
fucked.
on their car, it's different than
Oh, fuck yeah.
sometimes when they
Well,
You don't
say-
have tag. Come on now. If
Like,
you don't have tags on your car and they roll up to you,
Listen,
they got all
Jesus.
the fucking right in the world to be asking you questions. If you don't have,
except for these guys, there's something about Constitution.
there's that rule, right? Like,
here was a good one.
stupidity.
Like only break one law at a time if you're gonna break,
Yeah.
like
Right.
seriously. But if the one law that you're gonna break is the one that's the most obvious one, like no fucking license plates.
Yeah, don't be breaking any
Yeah.
others.
Right.
It's like
Okay, so-
drive at night with your lights off.
Right. And what's another good one?
They don't
The,
work.
Don't need to.
Right.
Don't
I
got license
like
plates.
watching guys walk around with the AR-15s, and the cops are like, "Can I see your license?" It's like, "I don't know, show me my license, bro." AR-15, you know what I mean? Just on their chest, walking around, and they have no. It's like, "Oh yeah, we got a lot of calls." He's like,
bet.
"Am I being detained?" It's like, what's the this and that? It's like you're walking around with a gun. It's like, I have a right to have this gun.
How many calls did you get?
It's like
Yeah.
anything else. And they won't tell him his name or anything like that. And I've seen plenty of them like that. And it's just they have. But if you're gonna walk around with a fucking gun on your chest, you're not gonna walk around with a bag of weed in your pocket.
Right, they got blow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're
He's got a back.
yeah, they're just doing it to
Yeah,
do
he-
it.
he wants
They're
to
like,
be
"Please."
sharp.
Yeah, exactly.
He
They're
wants
like, please ask me. He's got people that do that, like walking around, like they're just waiting.
to get shot.
But
Yeah.
then, okay, so then there was this other one.
make
I
their
remember.
YouTube
This
video.
one was
Yeah.
good. This was it was titled. This was the click that made me click on it. Was something like
Clickbait, they call that, right?
it said something like guy gets pulled over in Lamborghini from Dubai, right? So then it clicks to it, and this dude's in a Lamborghini. He gets pulled over, and the dude's like, "Where's your registration?" And he's like, gives him all this paperwork, and he's like, "Oh, this is a, and the guy's like, "No, I need to see your registration, man. This isn't in your driver's license." And he's like, well, he gives him all this paperwork because he literally flew the Lamborghini in from Dubai. There's a whole registration.
I saw
insurance.
that. I saw
a
that.
whole process to make it like this is it. This is when you go and do something like that, and you got that much money, they give you a driver's license, a registration, everything for when you land in that country. So like he gives all the stuff to the trooper, and the guy's like, the trooper's going, "No, this isn't it, man. I need to see." And he's like, he's flipping out, and the guy's like, "No, man, this is what it is. This is the." He goes, "Do you understand the law of this?" And he's like, "No, you need."
He said that to the trooper.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
He's totally, but he's teaching him, and the trooper's like, and finally, all of a sudden, he like answers his phone, and he's like, "Listen, I gotta go, and you need to get this car registered, and I better not see you again."
And then he gets in his cop car and
leaves.
peels out.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
listen to him, and the
Yep.
guy's like, "Dude, it's all right there. Register. It all comes."
Yeah,
as
he
a
had
package."
he had a manila
Yeah.
envelope too. Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
And it
Hell
was like,
yeah.
so then it was just a moment where you realize that guy didn't know the rule, and he was like just so angry about this guy not having what he was.
There's one like that where there's a guy that has a drone outside of a police building, and he's flying around taking pictures or whatever, and the cop is giving him all sorts of hell about having this drone.
And he's telling him.
And the guy's like, I'm legally allowed to have it, blah blah blah. I know the law, statute, whatever is listing it off. And this cop's harassing the shit out of him forever. And the guy stands his ground, and about like 20 minutes later, the guy's commanding officer comes out and walks up. And he's like, "Go back to your car. Take your car back to the station. Don't say anything. Get in your car. Go back to the station." Turns around to the guy with the drone, and the guy with the drone says, "What's the problem here today?" And the guy's like, "No problem here today. Have a good afternoon." Blah blah blah. Didn't really say anything. It was just real short. Left it at that. Basically, you're right. You know what I mean? But he came out.
They were being trolled, man. That dude is probably like waiting for a lawsuit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Or
just the YouTube.
Yeah, or that viral video
yeah.
of a cop blasting a fucking drone out of the
one
sky.
guy's nailing it in another one of those type. He's actually like a lawyer, so he's got his he's a lawyer, but he Washington State, and he chases down unmarked cop cars because it's a state law that you can't have any unmarked cop cars. And he chases them, dude. He'll be like, "You," and he'll like chase him down the highway, follow him, and he'll walk right up to him with the camera.
And they're actually police officers.
Are you? Yeah, he's like, "Are you aware of the Washington State Penal Code, blah blah blah, that you are not allowed to be in an unmarked?" And they'll be like, peel off and take off on this dude, and he's like, "They're running away. I can't believe this." And he goes right down. All of a sudden, he's knocking on the police station door, and they're like answering, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "Are you aware?" And then he sees another one pull in, and he's like, "All these cars here, they're not. This is a Washington, And they're like, "Listen, buddy, everybody like just, we don't want to talk, And he's like, "Dude, on it." And
they go from "Listen, buddy" to "I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah.
I've said too much."
And then all of a sudden, and it's crazy because he's got tons of them, and he's been nailing it as far as like making like some sick videos on this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to feel like I like watching that because it's
such confidence of that guy.
And because you really feel like in like the political climate, man, that you have no control and they do whatever the fuck they want. So it's nice seeing someone that actually knows and then to stand up for it because I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Well, there's a difference between like what you should, respect and all those things are like, truth is, I've never had a situation where I like stood my ground, turn out well, but it could have went a lot worse. Like it could have, I don't know. So I guess it doesn't mean that it's like I don't know. It doesn't mean roll over.
Yep.
Like I had a pretty good one where we got pulled over when I was much younger.
What do you see in there?
And
hope.
And I found myself, on my way to the police station. And
how old were you?
I was probably like 20 years old, 21.
I found my way to the police station.
But it was minor. I was on my way to work.
It was minor.
Right? I'm on my way to a job.
Mike.
In Pennsylvania, so traveling, and
for Proto?
I wasn't driving
for Proto.
Yeah, for something like that, one of those places, and
was it racing 8th Street?
No, it was a different job, but it was actually like the first day, so it was like it was like the second. It was like the first week, but like the second job, and there was the boss, and he said, "Okay, be here at this place at this time." So we're cruising, and we get a situation where we go by a car. It's a Pennsylvania Turnpike. We go by a cop car that's ducked into the woods, right?
Yep.
He comes out, and he's like behind us for a long time. Then he freaking speeds up and goes right past us, takes off. So we're cruising along. And then all of a sudden, he's hiding in the woods again. Comes out behind us again. Dude, did this like 3 times.
Super trooper shit.
Yeah, super
dude.
trooper shit, right? And this is so eventually, and this is a state trooper, Pennsylvania state trooper. Eventually, all of a sudden, he comes out right around, so it must have been like Tannersville. I don't know if anybody,
on 476.
Yeah,
know it well.
Not 476. It wasn't Turnpike. It was 80. Or what is it?
81.
380.
380. Yeah, where you like head over. I think we were like kind of, yeah. Either way, Yeah, like towards Delaware Water Gap. Yep, that whole run. Tannersville.
That's 80.
80. Yeah.
Is it 80?
80 is
Yeah.
the one that runs the Del Water Gap.
380. Yeah, 380 is the cut that goes from like Scranton to 80. Okay.
Gotcha.
So it's like right, whether it was 380 or 80, either way, all of a sudden, boom, lights come on. Now this time he doesn't go to the driver's side; he comes to the passenger side right away, and he's like looking in, and he's like almost right away. He's like, "Okay, you crossed the white line." One of those. That's why I'm pulling you over, because you crossed the line like
You can't
a
argue
couple
it.
times. I've been yeah, and then he says to me, "What's that there on the floor?" About like little green grass, like it's like not even, definitely wasn't any marijuana, but whatever reason he's like, oh, I need you to step out of the car. And then right at that moment, it was just so weird because just thought it was going to be just a normal, like you get pulled over and the guy goes, let me see your license, registration, then they give you a ticket or they don't. But all of a sudden he was going right for the like step out of the car. So I step out of the car, and then of course first thing he's got to do is search me, and I happen to have a
Telecom, man.
a glass, pipe,
Crack stem.
a glass, well, no, marijuana stem, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, you're busted, and here we are with like this. So all I got, is this a paraphernalia pipe in my pocket. And the dude's like, oh, I got you guys now. Like, he's like you said, super trooper. And like, he's like, and we have a truckload of tools, like hammer drills, all this stuff. And he's got to search all that stuff. And so, I realized that I'm kind of like, got to do something. I got to make a move. I got to do something here. So, hey, what do I got? I got my mouth. So I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to start running it. So I start running it, and I'm giving him well, first of all, I said, I was kind of trying to be reasonable. I said, hey, man, we're trying to just get to work. I'm just an American citizen. I pay my taxes. I'm a working man.
That's my go-to shit all the time, dude.
I pay my taxes. I'm a hard-working. I go, this situation right now, I could lose my job. And what's that going to mean? It's like my buddy here might lose his job, and we're just trying to get to work. And then, well, you shouldn't be breaking the law, he's giving me. And I'm like, man.
Swerving. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's a pipe. It's just a little, marijuana pipe.
To catch
and
with a marijuana pipe.
So
Please continue.
So then all of a sudden, the word came out of my mouth.
Oh, fuck.
And I said, come on, man. This is bullshit.
And then it was over. Next thing you know, what
And
station
the guy, and right at that moment,
3 words.
Super Trooper twitched.
3 words.
And he went,
turn around.
he twitched like this, and he goes,
Hands on the hood.
bullshit. And he said, turn around, and he handcuffed me. And, handcuffed me. And at the time, I had really long hair when I was a younger fella.
Yeah, you did.
And he, like, took my hat off
that's
that
what
I
happened.
had, and then just, like, to check, because he was searching, take the hat off. So then my hair is all, like, down in my face. And
You don't have a fucking job.
So I'm handcuffed.
You
and now-
stole these
So now I'm
tools.
handcuffed on this fucking bench, or on the curb of the highway, and my hair's all wild, and hat's sitting on top of my head.
Living the dream.
And I'm
man.
on my way, I'm busted. I'm done. And
Yeah.
he's searching shit.
For a pop
And
pipe.
he's calling for backup. So now more cars are coming. And so now the mouth really gets going. And now I'm telling him, I'm going, come on. This is pathetic. You got the whole police force here. I'm an American, and I'm going off.
You're
right?
messing with the wrong American.
And I'm like, this is
That
bullshit.
never works.
This
And
is
I'm like-
Pennsylvania's finest.
Yeah, I'm just everything I could. I'm like, really? You think you got something? You're going to find nothing. You're going to go through that whole truck. There's nothing to find. There's nothing. And, dude, he went through this whole, like, all these tools, had all these different cops. The whole time, like, well, maybe not the whole time, but a good portion of the time, I'm just running my mouth, just, pushing it. And this one cop, now there's a bunch of cops there, and now one's just standing over me, arms crossed, sunglasses on, and he's like the backup,
And you're the guy.
And I'm the guy.
You're the one. You're the one, man.
I'm handcuffed.
I'd be like, who are you guys here? Who are you guys here?
And I'm still running. I'm going, what? You looking at? All this stuff, right?
Oh,
And the guy goes, why don't you shut the fuck up?
My question for you is who the fuck were you working with? Because if you were doing this shit and I was with you, oh my god, the cop wouldn't have to do. I would backhand you.
No shit.
I'm sorry about my friends, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
He's an asshole.
Let me finish the story.
Just take him in.
I'm a hitchhiker. I swear.
That's it's funny you mentioned that. So why don't you shut the fuck up? He says. And I'm like, why? What are you going to do? You going to beat me down right here with all your... I pushed it, man.
Shut up, man. Shut up.
All right. So now...
You're making my back sweat.
All right, so they get... So they cleared out the whole car. Nothing, right? Nothing. Except for actually... Okay, they go through my backpack.
Oh.
Matchbook.
Oh. Roaches.
2 of the tiniest... worth nothing roaches,
And you had to keep them.
Yeah.
And he put that in with the pipe and a couple little tiny roaches.
And that was enough to take you in.
Then he comes over and he goes, "Okay, here's what I'm gonna here's what's gonna happen." He says,
I've got some good news and I've got some bad news.
he says, "Here's what's gonna happen." He goes, "You and your buddy here, you guys are both gonna get arrested. You're gonna get booked down at the old Tannersville, PA place, and." We'll arrange to go see a judge. And we'll take it from there.
Did I mention this is
Did
bullshit?
they impound your car?
So,
They have to.
all right. So at that point, then I had to come down to okay,
I can't keep calling this guy an asshole.
I never called him an asshole. I just said bullshit, American.
You want to fucking fight
This
me?
is ridiculous.
Let's
this is
go.
Stupid. All those things. And
I'm a peaceful man.
You
So
didn't
it's-
say we'll see how tough you are without these cuts.
I never say that. I'm always mild.
That's like the last. I think that's the last line.
That's what
Yeah.
they're like. Oh yeah, bam.
Boom! Motherfucker
I
curved to
don't
the
know.
face.
So then I came down to my senses. I said, "Hey man, look. My partner here, he didn't do anything. He doesn't have anything. And, he's going to lose his job. I'm going to lose my job over this. So the least, you can just let him go to work and, take it from there. You can take me down to your jail."
He's negotiating with him with the cops.
And they said, okay.
Right.
And there we go. So I get taken to the station, and my good friend Brendel gets to go to work.
Never heard from him again, did you?
And no, but he had, and it was I was like, okay, Brendan, you're going to work, and I don't know, you can tell the boss I got pulled over and had a suspension, and they arrested me or something,
Unlicensed operation.
unlicensed operation. So he's like,
Camp?
Don't know anything about it.
So he fulfilled that duty. I went to the precinct. They handcuffed me to a wall. Never fit. Still with the hat and the long hair and looking all like who's this guy? Well, I sat in a police office, and I say office because it was just an office. It was just like any other business you wander into, like when you're waiting for something and you're like, oh, this is the business where this stuff gets done, and people working, secretaries and people walking through filing some paperwork, a guy going, "Hey Jim, how you doing, Bill?" People picking on me, but in good humor. "Hey, what they got you for?" And they're like,
We don't get
the,
out much.
the pot, is that illegal? Ha ha ha. And shit like that,
the
and
big
all,
pot bust.
all a big joke.
Must be old
So,
Hands guy.
So all said and done, Brendel circled back around to come pick me up. So made a deal with the boss or whatever. We were good workers. So he said, "Hey man, he got in trouble. I'm gonna go pick him up." So then I called him and was like, "Yo man, time to pick me up."
Bust me out.
They gave me yeah. And he came back, picked me up. We got in the car. I reached in my sock and pulled out a joint and smoked it.
Fucking A. They never searched
Christ, man.
You gotta love it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
That was when I was much younger. I've matured
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
very much since
the
then.
same age, same area. What's the where's Bam Margera from?
New York.
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
yeah,
he
but
is?
where in Pennsylvania? Clark something.
Clark Summit.
Or all right, so it's
Yeah,
not.
so-
It's further down south actually.
It's down by like Scranton area, isn't it?
It's past that. It's on the other side. It's the same distance away from Philly as south. But it's a small area. But there was Protel had a contract there. It's I don't know. Anyway, it's rural. It's like Norwich basically. And so we were staying there in the hotel, right, the Holiday Inn for weeks, and we faked being in the union by wearing red shirts. Protel,
Yeah,
because it was during the strike.
Red shirt time.
Right, so on
Scab.
So on Thursdays, you had to wear a red shirt. And so mine said Oxford Youth Sports Program on it. And I was working for Protel because you just needed a red shirt. Otherwise, they don't let you in the building, and it's all fucking crazy. So I get out of work at, I don't know, like 7 a.m. because we work nights.
That's good
And,
shit.
yeah, go to the
I remember
hotel.
that.
And it's like with Dan and Dave McCarthy and all those days. So
Nixon.
I had to go it was almost Nixon's era. I had to go to the gas station to get money out of the ATM and come back to the hotel. So the way it worked is the hotel was here, the gas station was on the corner, there was a McDonald's, and then the hotel parking lot. And there was an area to cross, like all the way down here or up at the corner, but I crossed, like, whatever in the middle. So I run across, it's 4 lanes on one side, 4 on the other, because it's like the turning lanes and stuff, so it's a lot of traffic. So I cross over, run to the ATM, I get out my money, and I had to hurry up because that money was supposed to go to somebody, and I only had a certain amount of time. So I run down the sidewalk in front of the McDonald's, and I go and run across the street, and then running back across the street at me were 5 FBI agents with their guns out,
Oh, no.
holding fucking badges and guns. So if I'm running, and I'm cruising, I'm 20. I'm 21.
They think that you just robbed the ATM machine?
I was fucking hauling ass too. I was fast as fuck, and I was running as fast as I could, and I don't know. So obviously,
Is this before your accident?
yeah,
Oh.
yep. So I'm coming through, and the one guy's coming to me, and I was like, holy shit, and I was like, whoa. I was like, this is fucking. I was like, okay. And then what I did in my brain, which I'm lucky, instead of like shutting down, I was like, all right, I'm going to go and convince these guys that, because obviously they're not looking for me. I did not rob the gas station. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be, it's like it's their mistake. They'll learn soon enough. So I was like, whoa, all right, hey guys. And it's like, turn the fuck around, whatever, So I turn around, put my fucking hands up, and then I got kicked so fucking hard in the back, like between the shoulder blades. I was on the ground. It was like the ground came up to meet my face.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, holy
shit.
fucking shit, right? Concrete, everything. And then they dragged me forward onto the fucking grass. So now I'm like in front of a fucking, like the median in front of the McDonald's. And one hand behind my back, other hand behind my back, fucking cuffed. And it fucking hurt. And someone was standing on my fucking back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy fucking shit. And I was like, whoa. I was like, is this on Cops? I was like, am I going to be on TV? Still trying to be like the funny is going to get me free because they're not going to, but I was like, hey man, I know you hear this a lot, but you got the wrong guy, man. I'm telling you got the wrong guy. It's like, shut the fuck up, I fucking this and that. And so I was like, holy shit. I was like, all right, man, I'm not resisting. I'm just, and then they picked me up by my fucking handcuffs.
Yeah, they did. Oh.
It was awful, dude. And I'm just like, holy fucking shit. So I stood up and I was like, oh, whoa, and so they start fucking yelling some shit, and another guy's like, yeah, you thought you're fucking slick, man, and one guy right here is telling me how much damage I've caused. You know what I mean? And like saying some shit about families and how many families I fucking ruined. And he's like, you think, whatever, how much fucking, you think that shit's free, and you think that people just recover from that, blah, 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 and I'm like, whoa, while the dude in front of me is, saying some other shit, and they still have their guns out, and I'm just like, whoa, man. I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I'm not the guy. I'm like, can you just take my ID? You know, I'm sure I'm not the guy you're looking for. You know, because obviously you think that I've, you know, whatever. I'm like, just, you know, look at my ID. Back to the fucking ground. Right? In the same manner. Back to the fucking ground. I was like, holy shit. They take my ID out. You know, like, this is fucking bullshit. What's your fucking name? What's your name? And I was like, Ryan Warner. It's like, where do you work? Professional Teleconcepts. He's like, what? He's like, fuck that. He's like, you know, what's your address and this and that. He's like, this isn't him. And then, so the guy with the wallet starts running up, and I'm watching him from the side. He starts running up to the superior fucking dude, and they're all wearing the blue jackets with the fucking yellow lettering, right? FBI and shit.
FBI.
Well, there was a bunch of different ones. There was sheriffs, cops. Oh, the road was blocked fucking like both fucking ways. It was huge, man. I was the biggest game in town. And the guy's like, no, I swear to God, sir. He's like, this is some kind of fucking fake, whatever. And it's like, look at his fucking shirt. It's like, that's not a McDonald's shirt. You know, it's like, can you fucking read? And I'm like, yeah. I used to play, this is my basketball shirt, Oxford Youth Sports Program. You know, I'm like pointing with my fucking shoulders.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm like, OISP. See,
I forgot all about the red shirt was what started that.
I'm like,
shit.
I don't work at McDonald's. And he goes, oh, Jesus Christ. And then everyone fucking hightails it across the parking lot like a fucking stampede. I got one dude with me in a trench coat, the only one wearing a brown trench coat.
Like, sorry about
and they're fucking trampling, running through, and they ran into the fucking McDonald's. And so I'm still there. The guy picks me up. He's like, hey, man, let me brush you off a little, buddy. You know, he's like, you seem like you really took this well. You ever think about a career in law enforcement? You really, like, you didn't panic. You didn't, like, I knew you were innocent the whole time.
Like, yeah, check my
What were you gonna? What
And
were
I'm like,
you
are
gonna-
my fucking teeth missing?
What
I
were you
could feel-
gonna do?
Oh, and I felt my fucking face. Like, I got lumped up pretty good. So while he's talking, he's like, listen, you know, he's like, this is just standard. He's like, you got to understand. He's like, the person we're after is, you know, very, very dangerous, this and that and whatever. And he did this and that. And then, but he was there for so long and he was talking to me that all these fucking guys start walking back with their fucking heads down. 12 of them. They're all just fucking.
They couldn't find the guy.
The guy
No,
hightailed it.
He saw you
ran out.
The guy saw you getting fucking. He's like,
That's
they
a good
got
one
him,
too,
not
man.
me.
I
Yeah.
got a story that'll jump off of for
Dude's
sure.
working at McDonald's, fugitive, did some crazy shit, you know, and apparently hurt a lot of people and fucking caused a lot of damage. And he was working in a fucking McDonald's. They found out where he was, and these guys were camped out across the street in the fucking Howard Johnson's. In the Howard Johnson parking lot, and saw me running.
Dude said he's the one.
And I'm getting a kick of it because I was like, you know, I was fucking
There
athlete,
he
man.
is.
I loved
Go.
running. I was running harder than I ever ran in the sport. Just being like, look at me, I'm fucking going to spend my money. And yeah, and they're like, this guy's running way too fast in the red shirt. He's like, he's tipped off. Fucking get him. And it was exactly, they just fucking
running
dude.
gets you into trouble sometimes.
Holy shit, man.
Never
Holy
run
shit.
about anything, even like normal, like
Running is a
even to like run across the street to get to your car or something.
Yeah, it
'Cause
just
you
looks
never
weird.
know.
it's a sign of panic and emergency.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
here's a
and
good
it
one.
fucking
Here's a
create-
good one that
create-
saved me.
creates
Here's
a
even
widespread-
younger. And I'll step back.
Well, anyway, wait, before I finish
Okay,
that, like
go ahead.
the guy in the trench coat, the way he said it, I was like, wow. I was like, so how's it? I'm like, am I missing teeth? I'm like, I feel like because like, you know, my tongue's all, my face is all fucked up from getting hit in the concrete. And I was like, so what happens now? Like, I'm like, this is how you make millionaires, right? I'm like, and you guys are like
You
federal.
called him.
I'm like, I know you got the money. I'm like, so what do I'm like, who does my lawyer call? You know, and the guy's like, hey, you know, we're, you know, this and that. He's like, listen. He's like, and he pulls out his card, special investigator. You know, gives me his card. He's like, listen, this is my name. He's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, I'm gonna take your name down, take your information down. He's like, you know, I'll know you, and if you ever need anything anywhere, you know, he's like, you just let me know. You just call me. And he's like,
Call that dude.
Yeah, you can
right now.
You can check it
Let's
out.
call him.
Call him right now.
Yeah, no shit.
You got the card?
That
I
would
fucking-
be ballsy as fuck.
I fucking
Yeah.
used it, and it's worked.
Oh
Ryan Warner.
shit.
This
Yeah,
is
dude,
Ryan
it was
Warner.
fucking crazy, man. It was crazy.
That's nice, man.
Oh, and everyone was fucking watching from the fucking hotel.
All your buddies.
Everyone was fucking watching from the hotel. And you know how we work with like fucking 20-some
Yeah.
people? So it's us, Telstar, like Buster Crandall,
everybody witnessed it.
Yeah,
That's
they're all staying in this
classic.
one fucking hotel, and it's like, hey, there's some kind of fucking shootout going on down there. It's like, yeah,
Fucking Ryan Warner.
and it's
It
me.
was Warner.
Yeah, dude, holy shit, man.
You are just more and more the most famous guy I know.
Yeah, it fucking happens. But I tell you what, it's real. Just to reinforce, the most shocking thing wasn't like looking at the guns and seeing all the guys and everything like that. It was having the fucking being kicked to the ground so fast that I was confused. Like I thought the fucking ground came to me. I was like, wow, that's the fucking, like
Crazy.
Yeah, that's getting, but then you're so like, I'm just comply. I wasn't like, fuck you, man. Like you got the, when I watch people do that, like spitting and like, you got the wrong fucking, I was the other way. I was like, whoa. I was like, this is gonna, someone's gonna have some egg on their face.
Well, that's it's like even when I said when I realized, oh shit, like there's nothing's getting me out of this. And now I'm bringing down my friend. Yeah. That's when, like, I got to that point. I thought I had a chance.
Johnny does that shit. Brings his friends down.
All right. So
part of the game.
So what happened?
It was just a running story where, really going way back is like I'm freaking got to be 16 years old and same friend. His dad owned a bar and we were, little asshole kids that were like, dude, the back door's open on that bar, and there's tons of 12-packs of freaking Milwaukee's Best, or 18, 24, whatever
those
whatever it was back then.
So when we were kids, we would be like, let's grab those for the party, 15, 16. And we used to kind of do it, like, regularly. Right. And which even my buddy Brendan didn't know about it. Sorry, you know about it now because you got in trouble over the deal.
Sorry.
So yeah, we're next door. So and then our buddy lived down the street there. So either way, we'd go there and we'd like sneak in. So this was like Friday night. So we got used to doing it. So we're like, so whether or not somebody caught on, was missing some boxes of Milwaukee's Beast or what.
And they were the old long necks.
So we're like, we got
in
a
the brown
plan.
box.
So now in
the brown box, the long necks.
Yeah. So in these, it was like other times where it's like we just snag shit and then we got it. This case was like, we're having a party. We need to get it. So we go there and the door's shut. So we're like, we're going to get in, So we're like prying at the door. This is how fucking stupid we are, actually, though, even kids. We're like prying at this door at a bar that's active. Like, while it's going on.
During the day,
like after school. And, it's like the back door. So all of a sudden, boom, like people saw us. Somebody coming in the bar was like, what's those kids doing at that back door?
Yarning on it.
So all of a sudden, the whole bar, and in these days in Norwich, bars were packed, man.
Yes.
All of a sudden, whole bar comes out.
What bar was it?
This is
Davies?
Becky's next to the Ontario.
Yes.
It was
Ray
the
Lodge.
Ray Lodge then.
Or Smitty's.
Or
Did it look like a house?
Maybe sort of from like
not really.
Not really though.
The
It looked like
Ontario's
bar.
a house though. Right?
Yeah, it was Smitty's. Yeah, Ray Lodge.
Well,
Smitty's.
Ray Lodge and when Brendel's dad was there, it was Ray Lodge.
It was a Ray Lodge in the end before Becky's. Yeah. So either way, so all these guys that were regulars there, they come running out, and my buddy was quicker, and he got away. I was a little slower, and I wasn't like I knew everybody. Like I saw these guys coming out, I like knew them. Kinda.
Right.
And some of them like knew me as like younger brother and kid. So I wasn't like as quick to run. I was like thinking nobody's like really gonna mess with me anyway. Dude, right away, guy ran up, punches me right in the back of the head. I'm just a kid, right?
Yeah, cheat off on a 15-year-old today.
Yeah.
Got him.
Fucker was
Here's
only
where-
trying to open a
So,
door. He
dude-
wasn't running with anything.
So this is where it changes, though. All of a sudden, so shit's going down. Guy grabs me, slams me up against the wall, picks me right up. He's fucking, what are you doing? And freaking out. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, two dudes running full speed from the top of Smokers Hill down that street, right? And these guys at the same time, now the whole bar's out there, and there's like 15 dudes out there. All of a sudden, two dudes running down the street. And all these guys are looking at me going, where's your buddies? All of a sudden, footprints. Dudes running down the street. Whole bar turns on those guys, chases them down, and beat the hell out of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm left standing.
You walk away.
So I'm left standing there. I
Did they
look
catch
over.
up to him? They were already running.
Look over. I make eye contact with a dude that I know, like, knew my family and, like, knew me. And he just goes, "Get the fuck out of here." And just was, like, real firm, like, beat it. And, dude, those other kids
Got beat.
Who was it?
got beat.
Who was it?
I mean, I'm not even going to say because hopefully they don't, like, you know, never have to deal with that again.
They got what was coming, though.
They were running
Yep.
from something.
Running from
But
something.
no, the others,
They're
I
running
remember those
home.
guys.
That's a
who were
good-
like,
that's a
they were
good
like-
story.
They were like, "What are you running from?" And they were like, "Fuck you!" Like,
Eat shit.
yeah. And that's what topped it. So two dudes, full run.
All right. Listen, I got to get out of here.
All right, me too. We're out of here. Manga Needs.
We should just stick on that. The mAng needs.
Cop
Yeah.
interaction.
When's the last time you got arrested?
Oh, man.
Fuck.
We got plenty of those.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh, Jesus.
They're not as cool. They don't end as cool as that.
Well,
Hey, they
Yeah,
ended-
it's a pretty good.
Here
Documentary worthy.
Yeah.
they don't end that quickly anyway.
Yeah. Whew. Fuck.
That could be on Netflix, man. Yeah. That whole thing, man.
Yeah, that one. Well, that was a fucking in
Yep.
itself.
It's like Voldemort.
All right.
It's
well,
like the
On
story,
that note.
that we don't name.
Yeah, we'll get at that someday.
All right.
Maybe not.
This was fun. I almost forgot about that shit. John, you were telling me that one about fucking, like, that was one of the first podcasts I was on. You were talking about getting pulled over. About,
Yeah, he was.
Like, where you left the thing on the hood and
Yeah.
everything like that.
That one time.
Yeah. And that story didn't even occur to
Where
me.
you got away, yeah.
There's 10 more times just
Yeah, this
Yeah.
fucking guy.
I came out with guns blazing.
So sweet.
Well,
Oh, hey, sorry you can't call in. It's OVA, son.
yeah.
OVA.
Well,
Yeah, so tune in next time.
next Thursday, Manga Needs.
Pew, pew.
We're
Pew,
out.
pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
Thanks for coming. We out. Till next week. Manga Needs.
Oh, those poor fucking kids.